So at this time, I'd like to call to order the July 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting. For all those who are able, please stand and join the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So before we start public comment, I do want to announce that we did have an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss a couple legal issues. So at this time, we'll go to the agenda and we'll open the floor to visitors and public comment. Again, those are for people who have signed in. Please step to the podium, state your name. This is for taxpayers and residents only. And please try to limit your comment to 5 minutes. So first up, Pam, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name.
Obviously, he's not a top. No. I live on Red Rush Trail, and I have lived in this township for 71 years, and my family dates back over 100 years. What I'm here to discuss is about this building. So this building has been part of my life for many years, obviously, and I've seen it in very critical stages. Various hard to work with things. I don't know if any of you remember this restaurant dinners when we did down in the kitchen, how kind of that all was. And so I'm here to say thank you. Thank you for using my tax funds to make this building the wonderful building that it is. And the fact that I just had a month ago, my grandchildren, great nieces, graduation party here. So to have used it in the very primitive stages to where it's at now, I have to say thank you. And thank you to Debbie, she's here tonight. Debbie has carried on the legacy of her mother. Did for years. That we went to phone call, it was taken care of. You paid your money, you got your requirements, and you were taken care of. So my thanks is to Debbie continuing on. Not too long ago, there was a conversation about what's going to happen to this building. And needless to say, I was furious. Felt my hands were tied, but still did what I could in the background for being part of making this building still be part of the history and the heart of this area. There's going to be a lot of growth and a lot of change, but this area here has served us for years, and I'd like it to continue. So thank you to keeping this building, and I hope for many generations it will. And thank you, Tony, for continuing to make it easy to make this all happen.
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Next, we have Steve Muskowski.
Only a couple things. A couple weeks ago, I had breakfast with the state trooper, and they were talking about stories. And one thing they talked about was the plate readers that were on your cars. How that, going at nighttime, reading that plate saved one of the trooper's lives. Because the guy that had that car was a stolen plate, and the car was stolen, they pulled it back right away. I don't know if we have that on all our cars.
We do not. We have it on one.
We have what?
We just have it on one car.
We should have another one. Because it's a safety type issue.
Steve, what is that? Do you know what the software's called specifically?
I mean, it's the plate reader as far as that, and then it all ties in with the CAD system with the county and everything.
So it's a camera that looks at the car, officer doesn't have to get out, it gives up information about the car, is that correct?
It just, as you drive by, it's reading the license plate and collecting the information.
Okay, so we have it on one car.
We have it on one car.
Is it a camera and another piece of software, or what is it?
It's the camera is collecting the data that goes right back to the router in the car that puts it on the computer screen.
So it's a different camera than the other car.
Yes, it's a completely different camera and system from the regular body cameras.
We want to make a motion to order a new one.
I mean, it's going to be for a plate reader. It's not the same as like your body camera at all. So it is for a plate reader. I will tell you that they're not cheap.
I'm gonna ask, and not that safety is covered by price, but if you could get us what it would cost to upgrade the vehicles. At least
Okay.
one.
And I would also, I mean, to me, I would think you'd want it in front of the building and something, also beforehand, like reading it off of, like in Zelienople and everything, they have them off of the telephone poles and stuff. But they are expensive. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
I think if I understand what Steve's talking about, this is in the officer's car.
It's right on the car.
Yeah.
It's tied to them. They're all interrelated.
Yeah, I mean, the license plate reader is for the whole state. Like every municipality collects all that information. It's not individual.
I understand that, but I'm saying, I think if I'm understanding correctly, you're talking about officer safety. So is there a device in one of our cars, officer pulls somebody over, reads their plate, and the officer gets out of the car?
Yes, one of our cars is set up like that.
Let's, if you get us what it would take to get one or two more vehicles upgraded.
Okay, but yes, so we understand. It's just reading the information. Yes.
You might be able to look at grants for the safety. The second thing I want to talk about is renting up the tractor and boom mower to Jackson County. I don't think we should be renting the new equipment. I mean, if you want to rent your old tractor and stuff, fine. And if you're thinking about selling it, they have a Township residential. Okay.
So this is part of the pod we've discussed it. So Jackson Township is going to we're working on a long-term agreement to possibly sell it to the pod. It will be stored and maintained.
All short.
Next up, we have Tony Leo.
I have a question on the segregation.
Thanks, Tony.
Since there's a lot of facts going on, just like supervisors, time, cooperation, and service. Yeah, number 5 with the boom mower. Last Monday, we discussed selling the mower to the farm. Is that still
That's long term. What we have an immediate request to lease the Jackson Township. Long term, 6-9 months ago, we're looking at the possible sale of that unit to the contract.
So is this lease going through the car and to Jackson, or is it
Just Jackson Township, correct me if I'm wrong.
and what's our benefit?
We make some money.
$2,000
$2,000 a week.
How many weeks are they going to use? And then we cover the maintenance on it until it's sold.
And you want to add something?
Yeah, we already did the first service on it, and the next service won't be due until probably at least 2 years from now. It's at 500 hours from the previous service, so they're not going to get it to where it needs serviced again beforehand. It doesn't need an oil change or anything until after.
If there's a damage,
They're responsible. They're responsible for all that.
you have an agreement on that.
Yeah, that's all part of that resolution.
All right, so the boom mower being sold to the car is in the future.
Correct.
Still working on it. Correct. All right, excellent.
Thanks, Tony. Next up, we have Tom Dunlop.
I'm gonna follow up on the ordinance for the ingress egress ordinance and about how critical it is to get that done, and it needs to be completed quickly to protect the township residents. I know I've asked at the last meeting, and it was discussed previously, but I believe that was a standalone ordinance. So is there any update on this, anything to be done? Is this being reviewed by the solicitor? What is our public hearings going to be scheduled?
It's being worked on by our planning commission.
I thought it was
That's
done.
only reviewed by the solicitor.
Okay, my understanding was it was done and it was passed on. The planning commission had completed it, passed it on for review.
They put this down.
We did finish a draft that was ready to move forward to the Board of Supervisors. I'm not sure who submitted that, if it was Tom or Bonnie. I did not. It was my understanding it would be raised up by someone else, but if that's wrong. It's ready to go.
The board supervisors, or you gave it to somebody to submit, I forget the actual status.
Yeah, we finished it, and I thought it was gonna be transmitted by someone to the Board of Supervisors, who would then ask the solicitor to review it. It hasn't gotten to you guys yet? Apparently not. That was before I.
I haven't been asked to review it yet.
Yeah.
I assume when I've been.
So then who actually has it?
So just to be clear, the board has not directed the planning commission to create a standalone ordinance.
Well, I thought they did the ingress officially. Okay, so if they do that tonight, then if they can do that tonight, then they can do it.
They just have.
Can that be added then? Since they've already completed it?
Understood? So what the directive was, we're working on the salvo, what else is it? We have a long-term plan, right?
Yes, we're working on the saldo. We have a final draft. The PRD, Plan Residential Development, is in progress. We're on schedule for that. And the zoning, which we're also going to work on, is currently on hold until we get the PRD finished. So that'll be our third one.
That's gonna be over a year yet.
2 years.
Close to 2 years, yeah, and we can't be doing that by ingress egress, that's safety factor. You know, you guys keep saying safety big, but the guy's flying right there, it needs to be handled. At the workshop last week, the supervisors made a motion for the data center ordinance to be completed by August 25th. I don't know if you realize this, but that's 1 week after the supervisors meeting of the 8/17. So based on that, will be advertised and a public meeting held prior to the September 21st supervisors meeting, and will be voted on at that time.
So we have in our agenda today, we're covering the topic of data centers.
Okay. Now, I want to explain something to you on why this is very important to us right here in this township. I'm not sure how many of you from the supervisors or the planning commission are aware that Butler Refrigeration has not been owned by Giant Eagle since 2016. Most recently, it was purchased in September 22 by 692 Perry Highway LLC, which is owned by Dreisbach Enterprises located at the port in Oakland, California. They do refrigerator warehouse management and logistics, including importing and exporting foods. It's my understanding that currently they're handling the warehouse management at the former Butler refrigeration location for Giant Eagle. Now, since Kroger bought them recently, who knows what's going to happen with that facility. And with this property, since it consists of just a hair under 50 acres and a lot of buildings there, including chillers to keep things cold, which are required at the data centers, it's going to be a very good prime spot for one. And if it does happen, it's going to come in there, it's going to destroy all the animals and crops and everything right there. Now, just something else I saw this morning it was sent to me, was that Commissioner Boozle announced that the steam fitters local 449 down here will be receiving $2 million for construction of a new training facility designed to equip workers with the expertise on how to support and build these chiller projects. Also, it was just announced that APS Corporation, which is a green energy company, is currently securing leases for the last several months to be up and running by 2030, putting in 150 megawatts of battery storage in the lines over in Walmart. So that's something else we need to think about too, make sure we have that in our ordinances. One last thing, Page Place. I know they're working on 19 at this time, you know, Penn Gardens and everything, getting that all ready, lining that up. Now, as for the development study, I would like to know who will be holding the contractors responsible and how will they be held responsible to keep the debris and mud from 19, unlike the other 3 recent construction sites along the 19 corridor in that area in the township. Because I personally had 2 windshields busted from debris getting kicked up by passing vehicles or contractors pulling out and coming off their vehicles. So is there anything in the agreement that was done to tell them what they need to keep clean and who's going to keep back in? Are they being fined? Are they going to be for stoppage? What's going to be done? No. And what about the dust control? That was a huge issue we had with senior bridge in our was dust control. They didn't do anything. They sent a letter, they made a phone call, they just ignored it. About those sites. So is anything put in the stipulations on that? No. I'm guessing probably not. And I'd ask for all that way back when. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to respond to the Stonehawk in regard to the timing for the data center
Sure.
challenge, just so you know. So the Board of Supervisors does give the planning commission until the end of August, or whatever that date is, August. I would anticipate some time for the Board of Supervisors to review, for Mr. Thompson and myself to review. So my hope would be that at the September meeting, there could be a motion to advertise for the public hearing, refer to the county, refer it back to the planning commission. So hopefully come to the October meeting, there would be a public hearing and adoption. So that's probably the realistic timeline. I just wanted to lay it out there.
That's what I was afraid of, was going to get it off there. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Pat Sterling.
Since we're talking about data centers, my name is Pat Sterling, and I've lived at 121 Red Horse Trail for 31 years. In that time, we had a well drilled in 2000. And since then, John Miner has come out and replaced the pump, and that's the only maintenance we've had in 35 years. We have no other cost for water. So my question to the Board of Supervisors and the Lancaster residents here, how many of you have well water? Virtually everyone who's in Lancaster Township has well water. Next question, how many are you satisfied with your well water? Raise your hand. Again, virtually everyone. And how many of you are concerned that if a data center comes to Lancaster Township, you will lose your good drinking water, and we will be forced to accept city water at higher cost and worse taste?
How can we lose our water?
How did my parents lose it in Middlesex Township when the township passed the law and they had to put 5 tappings at $12,000 a piece?
Is that for days in the town?
No, it was for data center, it was 15 years ago, but it happens. So if the board fails to act or acts in a way contrary to what you think is right, and I think is right, that's how it happens.
I'm not understanding you though. What's the data center gonna do to affect our water?
The data centers use a tremendous amount of water.
Okay.
So if we have a data center, where is the water going to be coming from? So, now there are roughly 400 homes in St. Bridge and Arden Wood that do not have well water. So that means that roughly all the rest of us in Lancaster Township do have well water. And that means that an AI data center has the potential to impact the rest of Lancaster Township against our wills with water issues and expense. Now we all face the potential, perhaps, of increased utilities. We have been told that the data centers will create many jobs. How many of you believe that lots of Lancaster Township residents will get those jobs that are primarily for construction? Nobody believes that. Me either. AI, I looked this up this afternoon, tells me that once construction is completed, 30 to 200 jobs are created. I assume that the 200 would be at one of those mega data centers. I wouldn't think we would have a mega center. So maybe we would get 30 jobs. Last question. How many of you believe that this would be a good investment for Lancaster Township? No. Finally, I would ask the supervisors to remember that you represent us. I would ask that you be diligent in your study of this issue, and I would ask you to use whatever means are available to protect those residents who trusted you with their votes. Your oath of office did not specify this, but your responsibility to the residents clearly does. Thank you, and I'm glad I had a chance to chat.
Thanks, Ted. Okay, that wraps up all the comment, continuing through the agenda. Business.
Great. This lady came from, she wanted to sign in. Sorry, Greg.
I just have a quick,
Can you mention anything?
my name is Chelsea, I live in Arden, 343. We submitted paperwork for a permit to get our deck built, and it's been on a month. I've called multiple times, and I can't get any answer from my owner. So I don't know how long this typically takes, but from what I hear, it's about 2 weeks. So I don't mean.
I'm not
I
sure.
will say that our zoning officer was on vacation week.
Yes, I believe I spoke to you, and you did say over 4th of July, I believe?
Yeah, it was. It takes about 4 weeks. Is this better index?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And I thought we did it on Thursday. He usually drops them off. Has he reached out to you? I'll get him.
What's the name on this, last name?
My last name, Hitchin, Hitchan.
Yeah, I have no.
I just want my dad.
We understand, and we're addressing the lead time issue for lack of a better word.
Okay, yeah. So that was my only, I didn't think it would take a month, and we're almost into a month and everything. So
Is this, if you submitted on 16? Said it was waiting for formal submission. I'm just looking at the report, I'm trying to answer the question.
From what I heard, it was, you guys got everything from like HOA, everything is on the 26th. From the management company, everything on the 26th of June. So.
Okay, yeah, we will talk about that, sorry.
Okay, do I need to stay here?
No.
No, okay, I just want to.
Wait, is this 413 coverage report?
No, it's 343 Arden.
343 Rollins saying, so did he speak to you in July?
I'm sorry?
Did he speak to you?
No, we got nothing. We have nothing. I haven't heard from anybody. And I've called multiple times.
We're addressing. We've got a few people.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll continue on to the agenda, administrative business. Seeking a motion to approve the minutes from the June 8th, 2026 workshop meeting of the Board of Supervisors. I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries unanimously. Seeking a motion to approve the minutes from the July 13th, 2026 workshop meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Motion also.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Motion to approve the minutes from the June 15th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting. I'll second that with explanation, just one. How are we doing something here? Send out an email about this.
Yeah, so the goal is to approve both workshop and regular meeting minutes at the next regular meeting. So next month, you'll approve just 2. This was just an odd interim.
Okay, just want to explain in case somebody's going to approve the 3 meeting minutes. I'll make that motion to approve the June 15th Board of Supervisors meeting minutes.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All Aye, motion carries unanimously. Bills to pay, for June 2026 totaling $151,506.57. Make that motion. All in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries unanimously. Old business, there is none. New business, motion to approve Aqua Heating Company quote for $6,790 for the installation of air conditioning unit at the community center at 113 Kings Alley. I'd like to make that motion. If there's a second, discuss.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Discuss.
I don't believe this price is approved. Correct?
The only thing that we need to do is put a breaker and run wires to their disconnect.
So do we have a service in place that we got bids for that yet?
There's room in the basement, yeah. There's a breaker.
No, it's not. We have professional service, how do you do that? Schedule with a price.
No, we can do that. It's just a breaker, 4 wires. Yeah.
I can put air conditioning in, so too, I'm not worried about it.
You want someone else to do it?
Well, I mean, that's not a job. I mean, I don't mind doing it, because the board of supervisors, I'm authorized by the room department to do my work. You want to do it?
They do all sorts of work on units.
That's not the question. The question is, do we want to use our road department?
I don't know, if it's something you think you can do, but look, I don't want to pull you away from
That's, yeah,
roads, mowing lawn, things like that. You bring something in.
Is that something you can do quicker?
I mean, that's something that should be done in half a day for us to drill holes through the beams and run it out to where you want to go. Looking at a half a morning,
Okay. So then we need to authorize payment for wire, breaker.
I mean, if it's under a certain amount, I don't know that it really needs to be approved, but that was, we actually may have the wire as well.
I just think that's, why don't you give us what you think the time and materials would be if you did?
Okay.
Bring in 2 people and give us electricians, call them today, they'll be in tomorrow. To see what the comparison is.
That might take longer than just doing it.
Yeah. I agree with any of this. I mean, there's 2 parts to this. Number one, we're pricing out the air conditioning. So we get the air conditioning installed, we've done that electricity. So that's not going to do us anything. So I don't want to have to come back to another meeting and prove, $800 for wire, $50 for circuit breaker. You think we'll listen to this? Well, this is $990 this motion. You give Ed $1,000 in materials to do this himself.
In your opinion, would that cover it?
Absolutely.
I would amend this motion. So the motion would be motion to approve medical heating, quote $67.90, installation of air conditioning here, as well as $1,000, whatever you want to call it, limit for the road department to purchase wire, circuit breaker, and for anything else needed. I guess you're going to need some kind of box for the air conditioning, unless the air conditioning company supplies that. But everything that's needed to complete the installation of air conditioning.
Yeah, I'd have to meet with Nagel and see where they want to put the unit, and then they want us to just run the wire from the panel to there, and they're going to put their own disconnect on it.
Okay, and then put that in, or we're going to put that?
What's
We're
that?
just going to set on the ground, or we're going to put that in?
I thought they were going to mount it. They talked about either putting one of them stones or mounting it to the wall,
Okay,
whatever we wanted.
It was on that one. So, perfect. So we'll leave, so I get a second. Complete installation.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries unanimously. Motion to approve, deny, or table a declaration that the township zoning ordinances and portions thereof are substantively invalid from failing to adequately provide data centers and or uses of a similar class, and propose preparation of a municipal curative amendment for the same in order to address the regulatory gap.
I'll make that motion, and if there's a second, request discussion.
Yeah, I'll second the motion.
So, we did discuss in our executive meeting, since it's come up, Connie brought it up, and some of the people concerned about the data center. So we, as a board of supervisors, feel that this is the quickest way to at least curb any sudden development of a data center here, so when the process goes, and maybe have been incorrectly communicated by me, with the press, or the public last time. So we have
30 days after making this declaration to officially meet at the next meeting to decide, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Solicitor, to decide to move forward with the curative amendment. That 30 days does not add on to the 180 days granted for the curative amendment. So it's 180 days from tonight if we decide we vote to approve this motion. And at that point in time, we have to come up with a curative amendment in 180 days. We've already commissioned the planning commission to have a copy of the data center ordinance by August 25th, which is after the next board of supervisors meeting. However, that was a very aggressive date. I just wanted to put a date on it. But in theory, if they can have it done for September supervisors meeting, we can immediately move forward, we can approve it, send it off to the county. Once it comes back, get it advertised, be well in the 180 days granted for this curative amendment. But the idea is to stop the, or deter, and correct me if I'm wrong again, deter the development of a new data center.
It's merely to, there is a pause on validity challenge to our ordinance. That's what the action is for, and the board of supervisors is taking this very seriously, and they're being as aggressive as they legally can be, and they've heard all of your concerns, and they're doing everything they can.
Thank you for clarifying. So, did have a second. So I guess all public comment that was brought up, we were aware of it, and we're addressing it tonight. To the best of our ability. Pardon me?
So we appreciate that.
So we need to call for a vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Motion to approve, deny, or table resolution 2026. This resolution is to apply for a DCED Multimodal Transportation Fund program.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Motion to approve, deny, or table resolution 2026-14, accepting Coughton Cross Dr and Arden Wood as public roads in Lancaster Township.
I'll make that motion with a request to discuss it. Second.
I'll second the motion.
So Ed, can you shed some light on what this is? This is just them Arden turning over this to the township?
Correct.
So have they completed all the necessary?
Yes, they have.
And what did they have to do?
The only thing left to do is the reclamite, but we have it in writing that they agreed to pay for that. But that's not their fault, that's the company that's coming in afterwards. But they've poured and repaired the wearing surface.
Do we withhold bond money for that?
Well, normally you would, but we're allowing them to release their bond because they're gonna do the reclamite, which is a extra surface treatment's at $12,000.
So we covered this in the mayor GG.
Correct.
This repair.
And that was approved in that meeting, yes. Correct.
I just, Tom, any other comments?
No, again, it's the same procedure, except for the bond issue and the reclamite, and again, we're working with the provisions of the ordinance that have in line with that.
Thanks for clarifying.
Vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Motion to approve, deny, or table resolution 2026-15 to ratify an intergovernmental cooperation agreement with Jackson Township to rent the boom over to Jackson Township.
I make a motion to, approve resolution 2026-15.
I'll second that motion.
We have some discussion on that.
Sure.
Okay, so I guess I know some things were brought up concerning this. Just want to make sure before we vote on it, that's the concern. I know that department head office, as far as the agreement is concerned, the only thing I saw missing in the agreement was that the boom mower cannot be used off-road. I know I must that unless I missed it. So in other words, it couldn't be used in parks, but we're gonna knock the trees down, whatever. It was just a,
I mean, that's kind of what it is used for along the road. I mean, we do use it for trimming trees. So,
do we want to limit that to road maintenance, or do we want to, I guess I'm just concerned somebody
I mean, I think they do plan to mow the part that they bought. They have a driveway that goes up and it does have a lot of brush that's growing over, so I mean, it would be kind of hard to limit them to that. I do want to say that if they had it in their budget for this year, we probably would be trying to push for them to buy this mower now. But this is actually kind of a bonus. We're gonna get, you know, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for rental on it, on top of them still paying for it next year. So,
I understand the logic.
I mean, any damage that's done to it, they know that they are responsible for it.
And not that they know, it's in writing.
Yeah,
That's part of
absolutely.
it.
Yeah,
And you photographed everything.
absolutely.
But the thing about it, what I have, and I don't like to motor because I just had a piece of woodwork in back there, and it was functioning when it was turned on it, you know, through the others, but there's no visible sign, yeah. Things like that. I'm not saying it's good. I have a concern about mine. Especially expensive, get something, I don't know where that boom motor is not, but the case, not my brain.
It's a subframe. It's a subframe that's mounted to it. No. They have like pressure reliefs on them. I mean, there are times where we're mowing along and we catch a tree and it just, you know, the cylinders get away. It's made for that kind of use. And,
No, I just wanted to ask, I hope you don't mind.
no, that's okay. But I saw this as kind of a benefit. If they're going to buy it already, why not get rental money off of them ahead of time? So,
And I think we're covered with the language we got.
yeah.
One more thing, are they carrying insurance?
Yes, they are. And it's covered under the agreement. There's indemnification, it's a lengthy contract, solicitor saw. Good question, but just, I guess, just repeat the question. She asked if they're carrying insurance.
Hey, Eddie, how many mowers do we have? 2 or 1?
We have 2.
We have 2. Are they renting the old one or the new?
The new one.
So they're gonna buy the new one next year, and then we're renting it off of them?
No, we're actually going to be partial owners.
Partial.
The COG is actually who's buying it. The COG is buying it. It's going to be kept here. We are going to own, I think it's like 40-some percent.
Percentage based upon what we estimate the usage, Jack's estimated, we break it down. If we do, that's not what we're voting on tonight, right? This is the lease only. But the long-term proposal would be for the COG to buy it, and it would be prorated based upon usage. We would be the primary owner, Jackson would be next, Haley, basically a small portion. So we'd be broken down by what we estimate each municipality, township would be. And the equipment will be stored here.
Correct. They said they'll store it wherever we want to store it.
So once it goes to call, Greg, then we rent it off of call?
It's not rented,
How
we
is
own it.
that?
We own it.
It's like a
We would own it.
We own a percentage, it's a contract. We would get 60% of the time in 2027. That's what Jackson specified, but that's not what it's supposed to be. This is just one.
This is a whole different situation, right?
Yes.
So tonight the question is whether we want to rent out our new mower.
For 20.
Now, if anybody put that mower cost new, Eddie, you have a clue where they get,
We did. We looked at what the cost was, of what we paid for it roughly 2 years ago, what a new one will cost. We've done all that analysis.
What is it
I
called?
believe it's
the cost, the cost, what was the cost?
What was it?
203, I believe.
203,000.
203. Now, it's called the green book. Sunbelt, whoever uses it, what the piece of equipment costs new, that's what it rents for per month or whatever. Is that $2,000 in line with that, Ed, or where it is?
$8,300 a month is what the rental is on, and I'm not positive if it's that book, but we went by what Stevenson is renting it out for. But they said we may need it for a 5th week, and then later in the fall, we may only need it for 3 weeks. So we did it by the week, hoping that they'll go 5 or 6 weeks and we get the extra couple grand off of them.
So we are on schedule with Sunbelt and Mason's rent and everything else.
I know we're on schedule with Stevenson, what they charge to rent those out.
Yep, that's all I want to know. If somebody else is renting them out for $5,000, we're only going for 2.
Correct.
We look, fair question, we look at those going rates.
Yep, that's all I'm asking, we're not getting.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries unanimously. Other business, there's none. Planning, land use and zoning. The building permits issued in June were 3 year to date, it's 26. I did go back and look at where it's 2025, where it's 3. We're down roughly almost 60%. Moving on to the reports. Certain report from Sean, anything to add?
There's not nothing to add, but I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on the executive session. More correctly, it was to secure the advice of the solicitor on certain privileged matters, regarding potential litigation and otherwise, and also an update regarding litigation, particularly a case pending at 18/2024-10-411 in regard to a floodplain permit appeal. Just want to follow up some details.
Supervisor report, Mike?
Nothing to report.
Rich, anything to add?
No.
I have nothing to add either. Manager report, Bonnie? Anything?
The only thing I wanted to touch on is that, for the last 2 months, I've been working on trying to look at the structure of the township, and we did lose an employee, so my goals are to hire an employee in the office that will help with financial work. So if anyone knows anyone who needs a job, let me know. But other than that, we've mostly been working on planning, planning for the parks, planning for the township, and just trying to get everything in line so that eventually we can put everything in place.
Thanks, Bonnie. Treasurer report, I'll flip that to you too, Bonnie, since.
I actually forgot about that. However, we are working with a third-party bookkeeper, and that's something that I really want to remedy. I want to bring everything back in-house. I would have to pull up accounts if you like balances, although I do believe you have those.
We have it, unless you don't want to. But we've been directed by auditors to make that conversion in 2027.
Yes, unfortunately, the recommendation is not for us not to change anything right now. It's obviously a lot, we would like to change things now, but we will be waiting until January. That will be, go along with the document.
And that is our goal to do that. Okay, thanks, Bonnie. Administrative report, Shirley, anything to add?
The 35-foot flagpole has been ordered. It was ordered on July 9th. He said it takes about 3 to 4 weeks maximum. He will personally deliver it. It was ordered through Custom Flag and Supply in Castle. And the gentleman, we're dealing with one person, local gentleman here, he's gonna have to deliver it, charging us nothing to deliver it, a 5x10 flag as well. Also, when you were talking about the building reports, I was doing lien letters before I came in here today. Last year at this point, we only had 32, and a lien letter is when property is sold. They do just reach out to the municipality to see if this municipality has any lien on that property. We currently don't have any lien on any property in Coughton Township, so I have to write a letter to declare it. Last year at this time we had 32. This year we have 21. So there's a lot of property being sold. And then I did get new flags. Senator Bernstein's office. I had originally called his office, and I didn't get a response. So I reached out to the Zelwood City office. In fact, I actually got hold of the person, and Mike Spiker went and picked him up, and he installed his the flagpole.
Thank you, Shirley. Engineers report, Tom?
We have a small little subdivision that's under review for your next meeting, and we did receive the submittals for Page Place, so we'll review those as well.
Where's the small subdivision located?
From the Little Creek Road.
Oh, yeah.
How many others?
It's the old Kathy Lee face.
How many others?
It's just a subdivision. Yeah.
Oh, it's not right.
It's a minor.
Thanks, Tom. Police report.
Last month we had 226 calls. If we were to compare that to the previous year, we had 198, so we did increase that. Year to date, we have over 1,100 calls so far, and over a 12-month time frame, we've had 2,294. As far as the traffic study on East Lancaster from 527 through 719, going westbound, there was 21,288 cars. The average speed was 35.6 miles an hour. Of that 21,288, the total number that we could have pulled over that time frame is 166. And going eastbound, there was 26,530 cars traveling that direction, and the average speed was 36 miles an hour, 36.6. And of that, the total number of cars that could have been pulled over have been 309.
How many was that?
309 out of 26,000. Yeah. Two.
Yeah, let's make perfect. Sure. All right, thanks, Mike. Moving on, road department head.
Yeah, I would like to present an odd situation that happened this past Friday. First, I'm going to ask each of the supervisors here if any of you have asked a non-employee to seek information from a vendor about a piece of our equipment. I'm going to ask everybody individually, right? Have you asked anybody? Rich, have you? And Mike, have you?
I've not, but I'd like to address this, because you did call me on Friday about this, which I appreciate you asking me. Next time I asked if I have time to talk to you, but, I did reach out to Shaw, spoke to him about it, and it turns out what you told me was correct, except the fact that he mentioned my name. So that was, Phil Shaw said, he never mentioned his name.
No, he didn't mention a name. It says, I have it here. I received a message from our sales rep that a man called to Harrisburg Stevenson branch seeking a quote based on the exact boom mower that Lancaster Township has. Crazy enough, he first impersonated an employee of Crawford County. He impersonated himself as an employee of Crawford County. He wouldn't state which township he was working for. He was then transferred to a different sales rep than ours due to its location. Not getting anywhere, then he admitted to them that he was the Lancaster Township resident and his friend is a supervisor, that's all he said. That supervisor asked him to reach out for the quotes. After a phone call or two, the sales rep was very happy to give me the name and phone number of the caller that left, but I think this person was just trying to catch us in another wild goose chase. I don't feel like the people that preach transparency want transparency, because we have these numbers. All they have to do is come and ask. We're not gonna.
You think I had anything?
I didn't say that you did it. I said that the person. That's why I asked every supervisor.
Right. But I had that question earlier. So we do have.
I did call Warren.
We did our. Yeah, I kind of lose it. So I'm not sure. I can't speak for the residents. I agree with you. I think that, and according to your sales rep, he was very nice. He stated that the resident did say that he was a friend of his supervisor. Check him out.
Okay. I mean, it could have been. I called each one of you Friday and asked if you had anybody call. It wasn't just.
I guess you have. Being in a public position, we are subject to a lot of nonsense, let's say.
Correct.
So you have to ask yourself, if any of us, why would any of us, when we could simply call Bonnie and get the number, because she can do about 2 minutes.
So that's the point. That's the point, is that I think what's concerning to me in particular is that someone out there is representing themselves as being authorized to do these things. When you're right, you can call and ask them. And I will probably have to look something like, look it up or see what was in a quote. However, it is something that we can get the information.
That's why I'm just appealing to Ed. Think about it. You can ask each of us, why would any of us ask a resident to call any of this? I thought it was water, but apparently it changed me. Why would any of us ask a resident to get a number and simply ask?
But again, that's the point. and he didn't have a name of a supervisor.
Yeah, he didn't give us a
When
name.
they notified
That's
me,
not
he
true.
was just told that a supervisor was authorized.
I agree, because that state was, you agree with us.
You're right, there's no good reason.
Okay, look, I go worse. I want to know what we paid, we can get the old invoices, figure out what we paid.
The same as any resident, if you wanna know what we paid for a boom mower, you can come in and ask.
I guess you're asking us.
I'm just making sure that everybody understands that none of you did authorize this. I want it to be in a public meeting that you did not
I
authorize.
don't even think we, I don't think there's.
I doubt it.
Unless the office is open, we encourage residents, if they have a question, come to the office.
That's it. Other than that, we laid down 450 ton of stabilized gravel with berm backup. We did Woodlands Road, Swain Hill, and East Lancaster. We did start the process of getting the power approval from Penn Power at the park. We don't have any prices or anything yet, but you have to do the DR number and everything first. We moved the dirt pile and most of the rock pile from Four Springs to prep for the community day. Cleaned ditches, cross pipes, and driveways after the storms. Received 2 call outs for trees down. We met with PennDOT about the Yellow Creek Road winter maintenance agreement. And our upcoming projects are to prepare for the community day. A lot of ditching to be done along Scott Ridge Road. Dig and create a base for the first 200 feet of Yellow Creek is still on the schedule. Drainage repairs on Schmidt is still on the schedule. And upsize the cross pipe at Piper Road and Schmidt Road is still on the schedule.
Thank you, Ed.
Did you say you're doing Scott Ridge?
Hopefully.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What do you mean some of it?
You said you weren't gonna be able to get to all of it this year, right?
I would love to put the grader down and do the whole one side and turn around and come back, but if we have time, we will.
I'm getting a lot of rock and snow all my yard. It's pretty pissed off about it. I'm just curious to see if there's any issues going on.
Yeah, it's definitely on the schedule. We had to get our stabilized gravel put down. We only have like 2 months to work with it, or else it's pretty hard to work
It
with.
hasn't done a few years, and I'm just curious if it's just gonna get done or not.
Yeah, it's on the schedule. I promise it is.
So I'll start pouring rock back on the road.
All right, moving on, zoning, our
Thank you.
zoning officer
Let's
is
see.
not here, but we did get a report from him this afternoon around 2:30. Planning commission, Dave,
Yeah, so, we have a final draft of the updated salvo. That will be held until we're ready to submit all 3 ordinances. We have a first draft of the PRD, it's in progress. We are on schedule. And then the zoning ordinance has not been started, it's, just remains as is in effect until we can get to that one. Is there any info, any shareable info for us on support from the Butler County Planning Commission? There was discussion that they were reaching out for help, but we haven't heard anything back that I'm aware of.
Yes, so I spoke to the assistant director of planning. His initial recommendation was to take a look at another township that, has a, what Lancaster believes is a sufficient and good, salvo and PRD. He did say, one of the things that I think you were looking for was to be able to put into a matrix or a grid the various requirements for each zoning district. And that was something that, we looked at and we said, well, we could pay an intern or the engineer to do it, or we could do it in the office. So just, if that's something that you think is gonna hold you up, we can get that done relatively quickly, I think, I hope. But what other kind of, I guess beyond that, I'm not sure, the county won't come in and write anything for you. They may be able to make recommendations on a company that could be hired to help write. But that's then, a matter for the board to authorize.
So our goal would be, while we're working on the PRD, to get someone to look at the existing zoning ordinance and kind of reformat it. Right now, you have to read 7 different pages to see what 5 different zoning requirements are in different zoning areas. And we want to tabulate a lot of that. So on one page, you can go from, zoning district 1, 2, 3, and you can see what the changes are for setback limits, for, everything like that. And it's just a matter of, if it's more of a mechanical thing to read what's there and convert it into tables. If we can't find anybody to do that, we'll do that ourselves. We're just trying to say one or two meetings of us working on it. If we could find someone to do that for us. It's not hard, we're not rewriting anything, we're just reformatting it.
You're just helping yourself get farther.
Correct. So then we would update that table. So that's what we're looking for. We still have some lead time before we're gonna need that. And if you can't get it, we will do it. It's just trying to accelerate our schedule. That's one thing that could help us.
Absolutely. Look, I'll do it myself if we can't find someone else.
Okay. And we can work with you on that. So I guess the next thing to report or ask on, any comments, corrections, or feedback on the Planning Commission memo that we provided to the Board of Supervisors, memo dated 4 June. We had the detailed schedule of when we could finish things. We can adjust the schedule as we get closer to other activities. We may have made assumptions on other groups' time periods, assuming someone, say, Butler Planning could do it in a month and they may need 3, we'll adjust them to get there. But is there any feedback on what we provided?
I'll add this, I think it was pretty comprehensive, and I understand it was an estimated forecast on when you thought the planning commission could do things, so I don't have to see.
Okay.
Comprehensive. Yeah, I think you did a good job, Dave. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you, the planning commission members. Open our eyes a bit.
Yeah, once our work's done, it takes a whole nother year practically to get it in place, and that's a long lead time. So the ingress egress ordinance that was asked about earlier, we have a draft of that. Is there something that we need to do to get that to you, or are you guys going to have to decide that you want it from us and then vote? I don't know what that process is. I thought we were providing that already, but apparently it's been held up.
Just make a motion to commission the planning commission to do that. Yeah, and I think we do that at the next meeting. Is give you direction to do that.
Okay, we have it already, so we may jump the gun a bit. Didn't take us long because it's only a page or 2, but it's ready to go when you need it. And then in regards to the data center ordinance, a lot of draft work has been done on that. A lot of people have shared data center ordinances from other townships with us already. We're ready to hit the ground running on that, and I take it that this motion number 2, which just authorized the declaration and the curative amendment, is our green light to proceed with that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
We made the motion at the workshop meeting last week. I was going to say, I don't think we need agreement to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this question, Dave. Do you have, you said you had other drafts of other townships to come. Have you seen what?
We sent it, yes.
You have sent it.
Yeah, that was sent to us. We have it.
Just making sure you have it.
So I don't think that one should take us very long. I do believe we'll be able to have that finished within that time frame that Mike mentioned with the curative amendment. So I think we're on track to meet your goals.
Thank you. Any questions? I have a question for the solicitor. I know we brought this up before. Is there any benefit to combining the single ingress egress with the data center ordinance and advertising, savings, cost savings in doing that?
I mean, the advertisement is by word and whatever, so it doesn't matter on the advertising costs. Public hearing is how much the court reporter, how long they take, so maybe the tendency of the court reporter, but otherwise, I'll not, but decide you want to do 2 public hearings in a night, you can do that.
There's nothing unusual about that.
I'm sorry?
Would that be unusual to do something like that?
No, not at all.
Okay, so it could be beneficial to us. Okay. I think there's something else to add. Dave, you done?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Mike? So this is not related to the supervisor's report, but I did want to mention that it has been advertised that we do have 1 opening on the Township Planning Commission, 2 openings on the Parks Committee. Anybody who's interested, submit your information to the Township Manager. He will be scheduling interviews shortly. So it's your chance to get involved in the Township. And also, we're trying to get bids on repairing the roof on 600 Perry Highway and warehouse building. I have one person gave me a rough estimate. If you know any roofers or anybody that would be interested, it's really nice to get that fixed before winter. After this, it's having a roof on that building. We already announced we did have an executive session, right, we're not having another one, so that wraps the agenda. Make a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye.